it's Marley, and welcome to another video. Now, as usual, I'm gonna probably tell you why I haven't been posting recently. Well, that's because something big is coming. Usually what I do is react to a Nostalgia Critic video that just got uploaded, but instead, we're gonna be reacting to a Nostalgia Critic video that was actually requested by Christian Salgado. Yeah, he put 2 links to 2 Nostalgia Critic videos, so expect a second one after this one. So today we're going to be reacting to old versus new Cinderella. Okay, so here we go. Let me play it first game. There we go. Okay, let's see. This must have been season 7, 8... 9, I'm not sure. This is actually a very old episode. Maybe not that old, I'm not entirely sure. Alright, I'm just gonna stop talking.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. And welcome to another edition of Old versus New.
Oh, wow.
It's the fairy tale that teaches kids all around the world that it doesn't matter what you look like or where you come from, as long as you work hard and have a kind heart, you too can get a makeover. Cinderella is a tale that's been told countless times, but the most definitive version belonged to Disney Animation in 1950. So it only figured when you have a moneymaker so iconic that it's cemented in everybody's memory, you remake it 65 years later. To much surprise, though, not only were there big names and astounding visuals, but it also got quite the critical backing, too, with people praising it for being such a stylized update. But as always, which one is better? Which one feels the most engaging, clever, and all-around magical? Now, of course, being of the nostalgic persuasion, I have a little bit of a leaning towards the old. If only I could wish for someone that had an opposite opinion of me. If only I could wish for someone that had an opposite opinion of me.
I don't think it works like that.
If only I could... Where the hell are you?
Sorry, this thing is really hard to walk in.
Christ, even when I want you in a video, you can't get it right.
Hey, give me a chance. I have whimsical support on this one.
Yeah? Who?
Devil Boner.
Great. What whimsical support can you offer? I can get in touch with my feminine side. What? Sparkle! Butterflies! Explosions! Oh, okay, no explosion, but, ponies? Ponies! That's still a thing. What can I say? I love a woman that writes fan fiction about me.
Oh, and we both held you hostage that one time, so we have that in common.
You did.
You did.
No, you did. No, you did. You did. Hyper, isn't Benny gonna feel weird that you have another outlet for mindless violence?
Oh, come on. He's a professional assassin. This kind of thing doesn't bother people like him.
It's nothing, Benny. Nothing. Just add her to the list.
Are you gonna debate me on these Cinderella movies or not?
There is no debate. The new one is better. If for no other reason than the lead actress had to lose 2 ribs to fit into that dress.
But it's so sexist and bland.
The original is sexist and bland.
You just like it because there's more flashy sparkles to play to your inner 5-year-old. You're a flaky, flailing, flashy-holic. What did you call her?
Honey, I'm gonna do the crossover. Why don't you go start a war with a random country?
Oh, I get to use my random war generator. Jamaica it is.
No! Not Jamaica!
Once again.
No!
Start being right.
Let's do Cinderella
No!
versus New.
No! Damn it! Oh my god! Why Jamaica?
No impact on you whatsoever.
Dude, too soon.
I was talking about the royal position.
And I'm not.
He's the arm candy of our main character's dream. Let's take a look at Best Prince.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm so sick of about Devil Boner trying to destroy Jamaica. Like, oh my god. Okay.
Well, a lot of people some Disney princesses for not having enough character, people forget the princes often weren't even given time to have character. Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and yes, Cinderella all had princes with only a handful of lines.
And where the one from Sleeping Beauty fought a dragon and the one from Snow White saved her from death, this one yawns.
Okay, look, it was a different time. A time when...
Yawning was an attractive trait?
I don't think you're taking into account how sexy that yawn was.
Heck, his father gets more screen time than this. So does his servant, for that matter.
Yes, but through them we're discovering the princess character. And they're also relaying the chemistry between our two romantic leads.
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
Now with the remake, not only is the prince given a lot more on-screen time, but there's also a lot more time to develop their chemistry. Cinderella and him meet before the ball, and they have time to talk like normal people and build an appreciation of each other. Even during the ball, they talk and share experiences that help them build a stronger connection. She doesn't just see him and declare, "This is love," like in the original.
I wouldn't know anybody who did that.
I've moved on, Critic. I found a more sensible love.
Hey, babe, it turns out it's easy to start a war with this place. You just tell them that Cool Runnings is a 100% true story.
Dude!
Have to hat smooch him.
Will do.
My Jamaicans!
Maybe this prince
No!
more personality,
Okay,
more
okay.
screen time,
That
more
aside-
chemistry, and
Oh
pretty
my
much more of a
gosh.
connection with everybody he comes in contact with. But there is one thing that prince does not have. A shit ton of eyeliner.
Dude, again, too soon.
Just take the point.
After you give him an apology. He's waiting.
Okay,
Disney
well,
has always created the greatest villains. And what's scarier than a middle-aged woman who's obsessed with housework?
Virtually anything.
This is best villain.
yo, the other one, the old one was evil. Come on, the hair literally looks like a butt. Like, come on.
This one is rough because it really is like comparing apples to oranges.
Well, to Snow White, that's an easy choice.
The original is said by many to be one of the greatest Disney villains ever, with her style, grace, and love of all the villainous things that she does. The only downside is it's only explained in narration why she doesn't like Cinderella. Because of this, it's a little harder to identify with her motivation.
In the new film, we see how her bitterness is born. She hears her husband confess that he preferred the first wife more, which makes her angry towards his offspring all the more understandable. We also see her slowly lure Cinderella into the role of servant, showing how patient and manipulative she can be.
The downside to that is it may make her too human by comparison. Which one is more frightening? The one whose motivations are made totally clear, or the one shrouded in mystery you're supposed to have no sorrow for? The original
Old
is so
one.
slimy and hateful. There's virtually no good in her at all. While the new one is so fragile and relatable that you can see the tragedy play out in every mean-spirited move that she makes. The original acts like someone who's in control, while the remake acts like someone who wants to be in control.
I guess it's kind of like comparing Zuko with Frollo. Boy, one of them needs a breakfast cereal. One is sympathetic while the other is pure evil. Both still coming off as complex and interesting. So how do we really judge which one is best?
Well, I guess whichever one scares us the most is the most intimidating.
The old
Well, I
one.
guess that speech that the new one made in the dark is creepy in its own right. But the new one has the mind of a sociopath, which is very psychologically terrifying. But the new one has a more developed past, allowing her to... Okay, she wins! God, that look is scary.
Some people just can't handle a good old-fashioned death glare.
Don Bluth.
Yeah, we seem to have unbelievable power with this, don't we?
Ah, fuck! Oh, crap! Dude! Quit it! Ah!
Never forget.
I didn't even look at the rest of them. Jeez! Now I see why you wanted me to watch this, Christian.
No, why?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't do it! Okay, back to the show.
There's 20 metal plates in my head. The only downside is I don't know what half the words that begin with ask me. Ask me the definition of seagull.
What's the definition of seagull?
Stop making up words, honey.
You don't get it. When you hire an assassin, you use only him for life.
No, you don't understand. When you have a review already full of a ton of estrogen, and the good-looking half of that estrogen is threatened, you awaken a demon that
not sleep into the night.
Oh, by the way, honey, I got your hat.
Thank you so much, Wooble.
No problem, babe.
Into the
I'm concerned about how he got that hat.
with a gun. But you're nothing compared to my stealth.
Ha! I could see you coming a mile away. I was looking right at it. How did he do that?
Is something wrong, Possum Bear?
Nothing, Heart Eater. You and your lady friend keep talking princesses. Stop calling me that. I will bury my bullets in the bloody body of a bastardized bitch.
No.
No?
This one has more bullets.
I love you, Skull Crusher.
I love you, Turtle Duck.
Ah!
Back to the debate.
But that all sounded amazing.
Critic.
Okay, fine. This is best side characters.
Well, at least Devil Boner's killing somebody other than my own people, you know? That baby is still in my
Though
head.
everyone remembers the talking mice in the original, they're very scaled down in the remake, to the point where they don't even speak.
A different tone, to say the least, but everybody loves the singing mice and their
Leave the sewing to the women.
slightly sexist lines.
Hey, Stallone did it a sweater.
But come on, who could forget Lucifer the cat? Or the horse, or the dog, the king and servants, the stepsisters? These are characters we all remember.
Yes, you remember them because there's a ton of time devoted to them. Too much time. In the remake, the supporting cast stays exactly that, supportive. In the original, they hijack the movie on several occasions. While they're cute and all, they take time away from the more important elements, like the prince and the chemistry that's supposed to build between him and Cinderella.
Yeah, but they're funny
How
though.
the king gets way too much time in the old one, he gets just as much time in the new one.
Yes, but it's with the prince. Every scene with him is helping develop the prince's character even more, establishing his responsibilities, his goals, and his connection with his father. We never even see the prince and his father together in the original, apart from an eye roll.
But again, it was a very passionate eye roll. I suppose the last big one to talk about is the fairy godmother. In the new one, she's played more for laughs because, well, she's Helena Bonham Carter, and that's what you do with her now.
But you have to admit, some comedy is very welcomed after Cinderella is at her lowest moment. And also, she has to prove her worth by disguising herself as a homeless lady looking for water. And it's only after Cinderella gives it to her that she grants all her wishes.
But isn't that kind of pointless? She has to know she's a kind person if she's showing up there. I mean, watching her like a godmother.
Maybe, but have you figured this? Cinderella is in shambles. She can't go to the ball, her dress is ruined, and her family hates her. Most people in that state would be too frustrated to be nice to the old woman, so by helping someone else, even in one of her worst moments, it cements what a good person she is.
I guess, but I don't know. The other one talks to her like a loving grandparent. Someone she's familiar with enough to know she would do that anyway. She has a warmth and a comfort that needs to be seen after such hardship. I wouldn't want to laugh after going through all this. I would want to feel supported. And after years of slaving for your family, suddenly being put to a test to see if you're a nice person does not seem very supportive.
Okay, maybe the fairy godmother is a little better in the original.
Did I mention she's a liar too?
And you find that really comfortable.
I got glass sneakers because of her. They hurt!
But the fact still remains that the supporting cast does more than support. They take over. They steal scenes that shouldn't have to be stolen by them. While there is still focus on Cinderella and the stepmother, other important elements are being overlooked, and the new film keeps the focus where it should be. The main characters stay the main characters, and the supporting roles stay the supporting roles.
I guess I can't really fault you on that. New gets the point.
It's about a heartless prince joke.
Shut up.
Aw, man. Pretty sure old was better. Like, sure, the supporting roles kind of took over, but they were funny.
There's always room to muck it up. Trust me, Disney's done it before. This is which one mucked it up less.
Well, this is an easy one! The old one didn't muck it up! Obviously, come on, if this gets new, I'm gonna be mad.
My thing about a simple story is they can be surprisingly tough to tell. You want to connect with the characters in a relatable setup, but even in an hour and a half, you have to know what to expand on and what to keep living.
Like said before, the first film expands too much on the side characters and not enough on some of the main ones.
But in the new film's case, the attempts to add more detail can help some scenes but seriously damage others. For example, when Cinderella is not allowed to sit at the table with the others, it's when she realizes she's truly not a part of the family, causing her to finally break down. This is a powerful scene and all, but it then ruins the moment when her dress is destroyed. Or slightly ripped. Yeah, that's a gut-wrenching moment. But even if they did it like the original, it wouldn't work because we got the breakdown earlier. Because of this, the arrival of the fairy godmother is not as powerful. In the animated one, it's by far her lowest moment because they knew to save it. Thus,
Yeah, and they completely
more
overdosed
emotion
with
for
tearing
her
up the
and
dress.
Even more relief when the fairy godmother arrives.
But the story does allow for other emotional moments that weren't in the first. The king, for example, is given a lot of time with his son, and when he passes away, it's a legitimately sad moment. The ways they allow Cinderella and the prince to meet before the ball are also very clever, giving them more time to form a connection.
The problem with that is, every single time she leaves the house, it makes for a slightly less magical night when she goes to the ball. Cinderella goes to the town and quite a few other places several times in the new one, which is fine, but in the original, everything she does is in that one location. It's a nice location, so it's not visually dull, but that's all you ever see. The story is very clever in keeping her there, as not only does it emphasize the feeling of being imprisoned, but also the freedom when she does leave and enters this heavenly dream-like castle. Therefore, we're more sucked into the experience because, like her, it's our first time seeing it.
Yeah, but all the wasted time with the side characters.
Yeah, but all the time wasted on the unneeded exposition.
But everything in the original is so obvious.
And this one isn't? Gee, I wonder what the message was again.
Have courage and be kind.
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 Be kind.
And have courage. Fine, I guess there's both good things and bad things about them.
Yeah, I guess it just depends if you're looking for more mystery or more explanation. So, what do we do in this case?
Can there be a tie?
A tie? That's for pussies who don't believe some animals more equal than others.
There's
Hey!
pros and cons to both. I don't think we're gonna find one that's better than the other.
Okay, I guess we can have a tie. But I'm not gonna let this choice demean my masculinity, nor anything else in the rest of this video.
Speaking of masculinity, there's no point in shooting him, he's still alive!
Thanks! Alright, buddy, you wanna play dirty? Well, time to play with Johnson Justice.
Johnson Justice? What does that mean?
Mother of God.
God knows we talked about pretty much everything you can talk about. But there is one last element to discuss. The most important element of the movie, the main character. This is the best Cinderella.
Oh, I thought that would be it, but okay, I guess there's more. Alright, best Cinderella.
Now this one you know you have to give to the remake. It's like everyone says, this Cinderella is stronger, more independent, more intelligent, and more developed than that simple songbird who does practically nothing in the first film. The audiences liked her, the critics liked her, come on. This is hands down the winner.
Well, I would agree with you if it wasn't for one solitary fact.
Oh?
What's that?
You're all full of shit. What makes this Cinderella independent?
Well, she leaves the house, goes into town, and has smart conversations with the prince.
So if she could leave the house at any time, why does she stay there and take all that abuse?
Well, like she says, it's her father's home.
Because I made my mother and father a promise to cherish the place we were so happy.
Oh, is that why she ends up leaving at the end anyway? And even if it was her father's home, why go through all that hardship just for that?
Well, okay, it doesn't quite make sense, but the one in the other film could leave too.
Not really. You see, in the original, the father died when she was just a child. This gives the stepmother plenty of time to brainwash her and make her think she's supposed to feel guilty and serve her family. And seeing how she was kept in the home all that time, this indicates she doesn't know much about how the real world works. She talks to rats and birds, for crying out loud! In the new one, the father dies when she's an adult. She leaves all the time. In fact, her friends, yeah, she has friends in this one, say she should leave that place.
Why do you stay there when they treat you so? They loved our house, and now that they're gone, I love it for them.
So this makes absolutely no sense. By attempting to make her, quote, smarter and independent, they actually opened up a ton of plot holes, making her look dumber and weaker.
Oh, Okay, so she's not the brightest wand in Hogwarts, but you have to admit, she's stronger. She's not as passive as the animated one.
Really? In the original, she felt stuck in her position, but she clearly didn't like it. She did get angry. She did have her breaking points. Even though she was taught over the years to be a certain way, she was still human and relatable. This one, aside from her one big breakdown, which they tried to do twice, she just kind of smiles and looks happy like a zombie most of the time. In fact, in the animated one, when it comes to being locked in the attic and held against her will, she does try to get out. She hits the door, she screams, she asks her animal friends for help. She does everything she can to get out of there. In the new one, she fully accepts her doom and just spins around in circles, humming to herself. Yeah, this is the strong, independent role model the critics were talking about. She actually escapes by mistake when the animals open up the window and they hear her voice. That's not strong, that's the definition of giving up while also being saved by luck.
But, she's so charming.
No, she's not allowed to be because they're focusing more on her being smart and independent. People miss what makes a strong character is how they deal with their flaws, their fears, their turmoils, their troubles that get in the way. That's what makes them relatable. But this Cinderella doesn't have any flaws. At least, none that they'll acknowledge. You could argue she's too passive, but what does she do to solve that? Let someone else save the day and not even try. This Cinderella at least gave a shit. Because while having a character be strong is good, it's more important to have them interesting first. This character is not interesting. I'm not gonna act like the original is the best written character, but you felt her pain, you understood her anger, and you cheered for her when things went right because she allowed you to see her most fragile moments.
Hey, speaking of, did anybody see Cinderella 3: A Twist in Time? That was also a pretty good film.
So amazing!
And that's why you're falling for it. It looks the part and sounds the part, but it's not portraying the part. It's like the two Charlies from the Willy Wonka movies. One is an emotional yet dreamful kid, and the other is Jesus. We're obviously going to relate to the one that acts more like a real kid because we all were real kids. We can relate to that. It's the same thing here. It doesn't matter what you claim she is or isn't. If you don't connect with her, there's no emotion. And this movie has made it impossible to connect with her because they tried to make her flawless. Ironically creating unintentional flaws with her that are never acknowledged or resolved.
But her dress!
Point goes to the old.
Oh, it's so sparkly!
I knew the old would win.
So, with everything wrapped up, let's see who the winner is. Another tie!
Oh.
What the hell, man? We can't end like this!
Yeah, we need to find the best Cinderella movie!
Yeah! Didn't expect old Johnson Justice, did ya?
I was afraid of that.
I'm gonna give you the finishing blow.
Honey Raisin, can you help us settle a dispute?
Oh, this still your little book club going on? I swear to God.
I'm trying to decide what's the better Cinderella film, the original or the remake.
Really? You're asking me this right now? Answer the question. Cartoon or remake?
Yeah! The cartoon or the remake?
Ever After.
The Drew Barrymore movie?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's cool, it's smart, it's got sword fighting, Morticia Adams as the stepmother. Hell, even Cinderella does a little fighting. Yeah, there's no magic, but I hate that shit. I got Johnson Justice. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna finish what I start. Damn it, how does he keep doing that?
You know you
What's
can't.
your favorite Cinderella movie?
Ever After.
What?
The writing is clever, the characters are interesting, the villain is fun, and there's just enough changes to keep it fresh but still stay true to the heart of the story.
Actually, the more I think about it, it is a really good Cinderella story.
Yeah, like, really good.
Cinderella is strong.
Yeah,
but interesting.
I didn't see that one, so, what?
There's plenty of action and adventure.
But good romance and dress porn.
We should just pick that one.
Are we allowed?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I think everybody can agree the two Cinderella movies have pros and cons, and everyone's just gonna kind of like the version they like. But Ever After is clearly better.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give it to Ever After.
You got it. The best Cinderella movie is Ever After. Because it's my show and I can do whatever the goddamn hell I want.
Yep.
Well, that was certainly an interesting
situation.
Again.
Play ever after.
Once again, the magic of Angelica Houston unites us all.
Now this is how real men spend their Friday night.
Hey,
Oh, don't worry, Buzzsaw. You're not a right dude tonight.
thanks.
So, was she drunk during this movie too?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm just glad she actually does something.
Her dress isn't as good, but it's still pretty badass.
Isn't it usually the other way around? Like you start off sober and then you get drunk as you get older?
I'm always drunk.
It's never too early.
Where is Angelica Houston? Like, I know she's right in front of me, don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, just the actress. Where'd she go?
Jamaica, I think.
Oh, she might not be there anymore.
Oh.
Kind of wondering what else.
Dang you, devil boner!
Thanks.
Oh my
Alright.
gosh.
It's not like they were gonna do Addams Family 3.
Okay, so wait. I think there's more. Oh.
Next week, we take a look and see is there still really whitewashing. But you can see it now under Vessel's ad-free early access. Just $3 a month to see tons of people's videos early, as well as a bunch of other extra features. Check it out.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much an ad. Oh, okay. Now the video's over. Okay.
Hey, Doug Walker here
Oh,
with
okay.
a charity shout out. Today we are doing Big Cat Rescue. Big Cat Rescue's mission is to provide the best home they can for cats in their care, as well as end the abuse of big cats in captivity and prevent their extinction. They have many species of cats, many of whom are threatened, endangered, or extinct now in the wild. These cats are here for a variety of reasons, including abandoned by owners who wrongfully thought they would make good pets, abused by owners in order to force them to perform, saved from being slaughtered to make fur coats, or even just rescued as babies after hunters killed their mothers. With your help, you can see these animals live the proud lives that they deserve. Go to their website or especially check out their YouTube channel to see all the incredible videos of how amazing, beautiful, and just downright cute these creatures are. Come on, how can you say no to these guys? Go to their site and check them out in all their cuteness today.
Okay, so my opinion on the video, I'm going to be honest with you. This is the first time I've ever watched an old versus new video of Nostalgia Critic. Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are. But, yeah, this one got me in all sorts of places. It made me laugh. It made me definitely scared. Wow. Devil Boner tried to kill me on Jamaica! Like, come on, man! Why? Why you gotta do that to me? I thought you were cool. Well, I think that's it for this video. See you next time on... What?